some important factors when considering building a single global solution, and these all relate to the lifetime of the product. So the thing you can be sure about is that you're going to want the device and the management to change during its lifetime. So we're talking about changing multi-profiles within eUICC. We're talking about different networks, different RAT types being depreciated, etc. So it's really important, in order to do that, that you design in from the outset things like device management, configuration management, and then work on onboarding and testing of the device in those scenarios. So you really need to make sure those are done before you deploy the product out into the field. So SMS is often very important to IoT devices because it's used under the hood for things like connectivity management, configuration of the device, profile loading, and therefore it needs to be considered, the security around it needs to be considered in the same way as you would consider the data channel. So it's important to look at the SMS gateways and make sure that they are providing the necessary security around whitelist and blacklist to protect your device once it's deployed in the field. This is equally important in eUICC because of the profile changing. The single identity of the SIM card will change, and so it's important that your provider is providing a consistent security across SMS regardless of the profile that is in use. So when it comes to APNs, it's really important that you utilize a single global APN across your product, because otherwise when in an eUICC world you change the profile, the requirement of the APN would change. And this puts the problem onto the device manufacturer to detect that the profile has changed and change the APN accordingly. There's two problems with this. One is that the device would need to know that the profile has changed, and secondly is it would need to know what APN to then use. If the profile is being deployed after the product has been deployed, this configuration may not have been known when the product was deployed. It's really important to find a supplier that would supply a single global APN for your device management. So when we're talking about eUICC, it's important to understand where the data is going to be routed. So we're changing the MNO by changing the profile, and therefore the data will be coming out of a different MNO's network. This is likely to be in the local area where you're localizing the profile to. This helps from a regulatory point of view, possibly even for a latency point of view into the application. But it also does present a problem if you need the data to be presented back to the enterprise in a private manner. So if, say, you're taking a VPN. So we run an MPLS network that brings all of those MNOs back together again in the private network domain so that they can be presented back to you over the VPN connection. The benefit of that is when a new profile is added to your SIM, then you don't need to make any changes on your network to be able to accommodate that data coming